Oh, even the medical side has rumors. They're awesome! Kind of. Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching. This is Janelle, the SLP Peep, and this month we're going over some rumors. In the last two videos, I talked about rumors that I sometimes come across. Sometimes I had to search these rumors or things I've heard in graduate school, mainly from teachers that were warning us, saying these are rumors that people have. But today we're going a little different. We're going to be talking about medical rumors. If you have not already, please hit that subscribe and like button, and let's go on to face some of these medical rumors. Myth: chin tucks are the best treatment. So what the chin tuck is, it's when you put your chin down and you swallow. It's kind of difficult and hard to do. The thought process of this is that you're essentially blocking off your trachea when you swallow, so no liquids or solids will get in the airway. This is not always the case. This is just a very overgeneralized treatment in hopes to block the airway. There are some people where this does not help at all, and if you're in a medical field and you think chin tuck works every time, please consult with an SLP. Myth: no cough, no aspiration. What aspiration is when fluids or solids go below the point of the vocal folds. When it rests on top or it's above it, it's penetration. Coughing means you're trying to get it out, which is great. We want you to cough. Coughing is not the only telltale sign. There's something called silent aspiration, which means people aspirate, so liquids and foods go down below the vocal folds, which is the last layer before the lungs, and they don't cough. There's no way to tell that they're aspirating without visually seeing what's going on inside, and that requires an evaluation. Myth: the thicker the liquid, the better. The thicker the liquid, the more disgusting it gets. So I've talked about food consistencies. I will link that up right here. There are things called thin liquids, nectar thick liquids, honey thick liquids, and pudding, which I still am debating whether or not that's a liquid or a food. There's a lot of thought that the thicker the liquid is, the safer it is to consume for a person with dysphagia. This is not always the case, though, because then the bolus or the food or the liquid or the substance in the mouth can get stuck, or good heavens, it can all go down to the trachea. Again, this is why evaluations are so important. I have a feeling that's going to be the theme of this video. Evaluations are important. Myth: no teeth means no oral care. Oral care means good hygiene for the oral cavity, past your lips and everything. And for some reason, people think that if you don't have teeth, you have nothing in your oral cavity. This is not accurate. You still have tongue, you still have gums, you still have the roof of your mouth. There's still a lot going on in there. So no teeth meaning no oral hygiene. No. You still need to take care of your mouth. Interesting study that was published. Those that kept up with good oral hygiene were less likely to get pneumonia. Myth: diets are forever. No diet changes. Unlike diamonds, diets are not forever. A person can change the diet restriction they're on. In fact, as SLPs, this is what we want. It may be difficult for a person to change up or expand their diet, but it does not 100% mean you can never change. It just means you're going to have to work for it. And it can be hard, and you may be stuck at one particular type of diet for a longer period of time. Myth: feeding tubes are not reversible. This one irks me a bit because at the skilled nursing facility I was at, so many people were on feeding tubes, and we tried and we tried, and some of them actually got pretty good at it, but we wanted them off of feeding tubes. Feeding tubes, there's a few different types of them, but generally what the idea is, you have a canister, it's connected to a hole in your stomach. It goes down and it feeds through that hole so it can go into your stomach, so that way your body can pull out the nutrients it needs. While for some people, this is how they will get their nutrients for the rest of their life, it's not always that case. Somebody may have a feeding tube now. It does not mean they will forever have a feeding tube. There's a lot that goes on, and trust me when I say a lot, it's a lot of work that goes on to get a person off of a feeding tube. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Myth: inflated trach cuffs cannot aspirate. I wanted to get a trach myth in here and I did. A little bit of explanation here. Trachs. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, there were anti-smoking ad campaigns, and it basically showed a person with a hole in their throat. That's technically not a trach, but it's the best visualization I can give you right now. The plastic tube that goes in that hole, so that way they can direct the air to go down to the lungs and comes out. Some trachs have a cuff or a mini balloon attached that inflates. What this does is, hypothetically speaking, air goes down to the lungs, it comes out, it has no chance to go through the oral cavity, or no air through the oral or nasal cavity can go past that balloon on the trach. Now, what this also means is it's uncomfortable to eat, or so I've been told. What this does mean is there can be secretions that get past the vocal folds, because trachs are below the vocal folds. Secretions can go below the vocal folds and on top of that balloon that is on the trach. Because our throats are muscles and tissues, things move around. Sometimes things get bigger, sometimes they get smaller. And there are times when secretions on top of the balloon are able to wiggle and manage their way down. The cuff that is inflated on the trach, if we ever wanted to deflate the cuff, everything on top will all of a sudden come down, which means if we're working with a person and we needed to deflate it, chances are they will be coughing a lot, especially if we deflate the cuff for the first time in who knows how long, because this means all the secretions are coming down to their lungs and they're trying to expel it through cough. I can get into trach so much because of that one internship that I just loved. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you learned something and question for this video for you. What other medical questions do you have? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you have a terrific and wonderful day. Please remember to be kind, and until next time, bye-bye.